Um, Another game, another complete and utter disappointment from Todd Golden and the Florida Gators basketball team. Let's talk about it on Locked On Gators.
You are Locked On Gators, your daily podcast on the Florida Gators. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello, and welcome back to, I guess, another episode of Locked On Gators, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks for making Locked On Gators your first or second or whatever listen of the day, because it's 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, and the Florida Gators just got mollywopped. Is that a fair term to describe what just happened? I mean, the game just sucked. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. It was just an absolutely atrocious game for the Florida Gators. They once again go on the road and once again don't show up to play on the road. Will any Florida Gators team ever show up to play on the road? Yeah, Florida just got whooped 85-66. And I don't know, like, what's worse. The fact that the offense didn't really show up, or the fact that Dalton Knecht just went off 39 points, 13 to 23 shooting, 4 for 6 from 3, 9 for 9 from the free throw line. 39 points was just absurd. Good job, Clay. Good job, Clay. Said grab Vols minus 15 and a half at the half. And man, that cashed. So good job there. Because, dude, that was just Florida just looked pathetic in that one. Walter Clayton and Zion Pullen. I understand that their presence helps the offense run a lot better, but combined 8 for 28 is not good basketball. Combined 1 for 9 from 3. Hey, they combined for 10 for 12 from the free throw line, so at least there's that, right? Man, that game was just rough. Riley Kugel, decent-ish game from him. Didn't really get going on offense, and defense. I mean, guarding Dalton Knecht was just impossible. And I understand how difficult it is to guard him when they have you running through screens and just getting run into nonstop walls. But yeah, it was just straight up bad basketball by the Florida Gators, which has unfortunately become kind of the trend from them on the road under Todd Golden, especially this year. They just cannot come out on the road and play well. This game was a 19-point loss, and it felt like Florida was down by so much more, literally from like Jump Street. Like we were about 10 minutes left in the first half, I want to say, and let's see where this lead kind of got really built up, because it's like, okay, like Tennessee started building a little bit of momentum. And then, yeah, it just felt like it was getting rough. Like with 3.5 minutes left in the first half, it was 36-19, and Florida kind of cut it a little bit. Kind of got lucky or not got lucky, but had a few layups, some free throws, and you kind of cut the lead a little bit. And then by the half, it was 44-32. And then in the second half, it was just kind of more of the same. Like, just like Florida would kind of inch forward, and then Tennessee would jump, like just take a massive leap. And it kind of just felt like it was just going to continue going. There were multiple missed putbacks by Florida, whether they were putback layup or dump attempt or just like tip-ins. It was just rough. It was sloppy throughout. I feel like there were a few times they just went too far into the shot clock. And then Florida had a little bit of a run in that second quarter where a little bit of a run in the second quarter where it was like they were getting to the line, or they were just attacking the paint, and they were either making the layup or getting fouled and getting free throw opportunities. And I was like, okay, this is a solid approach because you're getting the layups, they're working there, and then if you're not scoring, you're getting to the free throw line, you're picking up points while stopping the clock and getting their guys in foul trouble. And it was kind of a decent approach, but that only works so much. And then Tennessee made a defensive adjustment, started playing tighter man, and it again then they just clamped up against Florida. And Florida, I mean, it was just the Florida Gators volunteered to get their asses whooped. Like that's what it was. That's what it was. That was the Gators and Volunteers game. Dalton connected 22 in the first half. Just went off, and this is a Florida Gators team that now has just one win in SEC play. They are 1-3 after close loss to Kentucky. And the close loss to Kentucky, we were like, all right, like you're kind of showing some signs that you might be able to get this stuff done. Then you go on the road against Ole Miss, and they just kick the crap out of you. And then you're at home, and you dominate at home Arkansas. And then you go on the road, and you get the crap kicked out of you once again. This cannot be the tale of two teams here. Like, I don't know what the hell is in the water in Gainesville right now. That the football and men's basketball team cannot just show up at home and on the road. Do they not know they can do both? Is that what it is? Because the next game this weekend, you're at Missouri. I believe it's Saturday, the 20th. Yeah, so Saturday, you're at Missouri. I don't even know what the line is. Just take Missouri to cover. It's gonna happen because this team has shown us nothing to indicate that they're going to show up at any point on the road. Because it's not like you're just losing these games on the road. You're getting the crap kicked out of you. You're just getting stomped. And it's like, because again, I'm not the type where I just go, oh, wins or losses are all that matters. But you're playing, I almost dropped a word that I can't say. You're playing very bad. And that's what it is. It's not just that, oh, you lost the game. It's that you got the absolute crap kicked out of you. Dominated. The past 2 live streams we've done, I've had to put Team A dominates Florida Gators because it was Ole Miss and it was Tennessee. It just cannot happen. Like, this cannot be a consistent thing for a team that had genuine aspirations to make the tournament at the end of the season. And you can't show up with performances like what you've been doing. Like, you can't show up with these performances on the road and think we deserve a shot, because you don't. Because all you've proven to this point is that you can play at home and you can't play with crap on the road. Like, you're nothing on the road. You might as well just put me and the subtext listeners out there, and we'll congrats. What does it matter? Dalton Knecht scored 40 anyway. Sorry, 39. 39 anyway. What's it matter? If you're not going to be competitive, what the hell is the point? Like, it just makes no sense. It's absolutely pitiful, embarrassing, disgusting. Every word that I can use to say that they suck on the road is exactly what it is. That's as polite as I can put it, genuinely. Because, man, what the hell are, like, I don't get it. They're disappointing. Like, that's the best way to put it. It's just they're disappointing as all hell. If you have anything you want to say in the chat, we'll get to that in the second half. But first, we're going to get a quick word from FanDuel, because this bonus episode of Locked On Gators is brought to you by FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. And while this team does suck sometimes, and while this team does disappoint more often than that, I did make money in this game. I had Walter Clayton. I had 2 bets around Walter Clayton. Walter Clayton over 12.5 points hit. Walter Clayton 15 points for plus money, and it hit. And he finished with 16. It was the and one layup that got him to 215 and over 15. So that was really fun. At least I made money if they're going to suck, right? New customers get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. Win or lose, $150 in bonus bets with a $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon. Make your first bet a layup. And remember that FanDuel is an official partner of the NFL. And this bonus episode of Locked On Gators is also brought to you by Jace Medical. We spend a lot of time together, you and I, getting fired up over wins and losses. You know what? You and I spend a lot of time together, and we get fired up over losses because the wins just don't freaking happen anymore. Who starts, who sits, and I'm thankful for that. I think I've been very clear about that. Today, give me a little bit more personal because whether you're, I don't know, on extended travel, bracing for a major weather event, or limited by yet another supply shortage, you are covered, my friend. And thanks to our partners at Jace Medical, life-saving antibiotics and a long list of daily medications can be ordered in a 1-year supply. Remember to use promo code LOCKEDON at checkout for a discount as well. It's $20 off using promo code LOCKEDON at Jace Medical, JASE medical.com. Thanks for making Locked On Gators your first or second listen of the day. I'm very sorry if you watched that basketball game. But I am Brandon Olsen. We are available daily and free wherever you listen to the podcast and on YouTube. If you're not part of the subtext group and you want to join it, go to join subtext.com/LockedOnGators. And as far as this basketball team goes, I genuinely don't know what the answer is. Like, Todd Golden is obviously a much smarter basketball mind than I am because for football, I'll go toe to toe, but basketball, the intricacies will get past me. But I know bad basketball when I see it, and holy crap, bad basketball. But I genuinely don't know what the answer is for Florida, because I think you need to have Tyrese Samuel and Micah Hanlogton out there, because I mean that's what you do rebounding wise, right? That's what you get. I think you need to keep Walter Clayton out there because I know you need to keep Walter Clayton Jr. out there with the starters. Zion Pullen, another one. Will Richard's supposed to be like your big spacer there. So I don't know what you do. I feel like the best bet is to start one of Tyrese Samuel, Micah Hanlogton, and then bring Riley Kugel back to starting. Just because, again, I think that I feel like he's underrated as a defender at times. And I love he creates transition opportunities. He does that. Florida had 8 steals tonight, and he had 3 of them. Walter Clayton Jr. had 3 of them. And then Tyrese Samuel and Micah Hanlogton had the others. So I feel like having Riley Kugel in the starting lineup is something that you should do because he creates transition opportunities. The rotation's basically 9 guys right now with Alex Condon, Thomas Huck, Riley Kugel, Denzel Aberdeen. Alex Condon just, like, offensive rebounds are great, but if you're just going to miss the tip in every time, then does it really matter? That's like the Carmelo Anthony, Isaiah Stewart, which is the only time those 2 guys are ever going to be compared, of like, I'm gonna get into the paint, shoot, miss, get my own rebound, shoot, miss, get my own rebound. Like, it's the stuff where it's like, congratulations on getting your offensive rebounds, but it doesn't matter if you don't finish the opportunity in any way, shape, or form. So there's that. Like, Tyrese Samuel, 8 offensive rebounds, maybe 9. I think it was 8 that he had. Would pass out, would do whatever, but it was just like, you can't constantly have the tip-ins that don't work. And again, if you're tipping it in or if you're trying to tip it in and you don't make it, then it doesn't even matter that you got the offensive rebound. Like, who cares? So I don't know what you fully do lineup-wise, rotation-wise. It's Billy Napier calling plays. I hate how overlapping these are, I gotta say. But I'll tell you what, the defense sucked too. Like, Dalton Knecht getting 39, and I don't know his first name, but Adu having 19, and Adu was doing the same crap almost every time. It was just like, hey, I'm just gonna be right here in the mid range. Someone's gonna do anything, and I'm gonna be wide open, and I'm just gonna pop the midi jumper right now. And he did it like consistently, and it was just nonstop doing that crap. They combined for 58 points. 58. That's only 8 less than the entire Florida Gators team scored. It was just bad basketball in every way, shape, or form. And like I know that this is the start of SEC play and you're still going to be figuring things out, but there needs to be a little bit of a sense of urgency with actually figuring this crap out. Like, congratulations, you shot really well from the free throw line tonight. They did. Even Tyrese Samuel's knocking them down. Like, Zion Pullen is usually pretty reliable with them. Like, they were making the free throws tonight, which is big because this is the team that last week was just god awful at the free throw line. So like improving there is huge, but you can't shoot 5 for 22 from 3. You can't shoot 20 for 68 from the field. Like, the reason that Florida got the crap kicked out of them was just the inefficiencies that they had offensively and defensively, not having an answer for Dalton Knecht, which I think your best answer was Riley Kugel, but even then wasn't a good answer. Like, it was just because this is a team where like you look at the roster, you look at the makeup, and you're like, I don't know what the answer is if the answer is on the roster right now. And I think that's kind of the more concerning part of just like, do we just do this for the rest of the year? Is it just insanity, like repeating the same thing and expecting a different result? I don't know, but man, if it is, I am going to be in pain this year, this season, really. But man, it's just rough. Game days are for feeling, and man, do we feel crappy on game days in Gator Nation lately. But thanks for making Locked On Gators your first listen or second listen or whatever listen of the day that you're going to make it. I do very much appreciate it. If you're new here, please do like, subscribe, comment, review, do whatever it is that you want to do. But as always, I am Brandon Olsen. Find me on Twitter at WNS_Brandon. Find on my network with Giants Country NFL 33. And I will see you all tomorrow.